Hi guys, welcome back to the Madonna journey. Today we're diving into the Ray of Light music videos. I've been really excited for these ever since the last batch we did, and you guys have really hyped these up as well, so I'm expecting nothing but beautiful, aesthetic, gorgeous, artistic perfection. And if they let me down, I will be bummed. This is another album that I really like and really enjoy, and I had a big rotation on my summer playlist back when I first discovered it. Haven't listened to it in a little bit, but it is a very diverse album. Like, to me, it's her most diverse, kind of her most eclectic, her most experimental at times. So that's kind of how I view it in my mind, as like this particularly artistic venture in her discography. But yeah, I really like it. I'm looking at the track list, trying to refresh my memory a little bit, because I thought I'd update you on some of my favorite songs, and there's really not a lot of songs on this album that I dislike. I think my favorites are Ray of Light. The title track is absolutely one of the best songs ever written. I remember really liking Candy Perfume Girl, but I can't say that I've listened to it as much as some of the other tracks. I really like Frozen. That's a classic. The Power of Goodbye is a banger. Nothing Really Matters is really good. I've come to really appreciate Skin. I feel like there's a lot of good tracks on here. I think the only one I tend to skip is Little Star. But we are getting into the music videos, okay? We have 5 music videos, and then we also are going to be watching the music video for You'll See, which is one that I left off the last video, and I'm now putting it on this video. It's not part of the Ray of Light music videos, like it's not on that album, but people say to do it with this album, it must be around this time that it was released. No expectations whatsoever going into that. We're gonna start with that, and then we're gonna get into the actual Ray of Light videos, starting with Frozen and ending with Nothing Really Matters. Yeah, let's get started. Is this the song? I thought it was an ad. Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place.
You think that I can't live without your love. You'll see.
Is this the Take a Bow?
You think I can't go on another day.
This is haunting.
Think I have nothing without you by my side. You'll see somehow, some way. You think that I can never laugh again. You'll see. You think that you've destroyed my faith in love. You think after all you've done,
So cinematic.
I'll never find my way back home.
But I will. Is that the message?
Someday
You'll see.
all by myself. I don't need anyone at all. I know I'll survive. I know I'll stay alive. All on my own.
Ugh.
I don't need anyone.
It's just beautiful.
It will be mine. No one can take it from me. You'll see.
There's a lot of close-ups. Not entirely sure what's going on, but I think he just got stabbed.
You'll see.
Ah, the reflections.
Takes more strength to cry. Admit defeat. I have truth on my side. You only have deceit.
The song works so well with the visuals too. Like, they really complement one another. tone to everything again.
I won't need anyone this time. It will be mine. No one can take it from me. You see.
It's kind of reminding me of who's the director that does like really a lot of like older movies and stuff. It's kind of giving me like North by Northwest energy. That's what it's giving me. I think it's mainly like the train scene and then the plane flying overhead. I think those are both kind of shots that are in North by Northwest, which is an old movie. I absolutely love old movies. Okay, side note. And this is giving me like a lot of old movie energy. Okay. I don't know what any of this means, straight up. I have not been really paying attention to the storyline. It's just, it's so cinematic and it was such a beautiful song. And that's my main takeaway. That's really all I have to say. That was cinematic as hell. And it was gorgeous. Like the instrumentation was so pretty on that track. I love how it started with like kind of that empty, hollow, haunted vibe with just the voice, no instruments. I don't think Madonna's done that in a lot of her songs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't recall that being something that she utilizes a lot, like that kind of a cappella vibe. And I thought it just lent such a unique, beautiful opening to the track. And then like seeing the way that production unfolded, those strings, that plucky little guitar, like it was poetic. Like just the sound of that song alone was poetic. Everything about that was poetic. The music video, obviously, gorgeously shot, like beautifully shot. The leaves, I thought that was a really pretty shot as well. Like I'm a fall girly, okay? So I love leaves and I just thought that was beautiful. Honestly, I wasn't really following the storyline. Like I got that it was sad. I got they were kind of like going apart from each other or something. Obviously it was the guy from Take a Bow. So I don't know if that was like, I don't know what the story was there. I guess I'll look it up really quick and then we'll keep going. I'm just excited to see more because that was really pretty. Okay, so the video for Take a Bow had portrayed the singer being mistreated by her lover, played by Spanish torero Emilio Munoz. In the music video for You'll See, Madonna walks out, leaving him behind in despair. Okay. Also present are the scenes of the singer riding a train and later on a plane, with Munoz trying to catch up with her. Okay, yeah. I mean, I got the kind of vibes like they were going apart and like obviously everything was very melancholy, very sad. There were a bit of close-up shots at the end that were super cinematic. I don't know. I didn't really register what all of them were. I felt like there were a lot of like Easter eggs in that music video. It felt like she was really tying the visuals into like other music videos she's done. She probably has a ton of Easter eggs in like a lot of her videos that I just don't pick up on because I'm not that familiar with, you know, her discography and her music videos. And also just watching the video one time, you know, you don't catch everything, but Alfred Hitchcock, that was the director. Yeah, I don't know. I just got North by Northwest energy. That's what I kept thinking of. But obviously it was the sequel to Take a Bow. And that was like the main thing. But I appreciated that it was like, it felt like its own video. It didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm just watching the Take a Bow video over again. It had its own settings, you know, its own visuals and stuff like that. So I really appreciated that it felt like a standalone thing. Together too, like the song with the music video was just like art piece energy. And even for a song like that wasn't like an album track. It wasn't like a big single or anything. We still got that gorgeous music video and gorgeous song. So yes, I feel like I am just rambling at this point, but I really enjoyed that. The next one is Frozen. This was originally my very favorite song on this album. It still is a favorite of mine. I think it's an absolutely beautiful track. I mean, in my opinion, like there's songs that are like the best on the album and then there's songs that have the replay value and those can sometimes be different songs. And for me, Frozen just didn't have as much replay value for me as some of the other tracks on the album. But I still think it's a really strong song and like probably one of the best on the album. But I'm excited to listen to it and watch the music video. Okay, I feel like I'm locked in the second she starts it because you don't want to miss anything. Why does that look like a gothic sim or something? Like, I don't know.
You only see what your eyes want to see. How can life be what you want it to be? You're frozen when your heart's not open. You're so consumed with how much you get. You waste your time with hate and regret. You're broken when your heart's not open.
I just want to pause it to say this shot and like her look is reminding me of 3 things in particular. 4 things if you count the Grim Reaper. One is Bjork for some reason. One of them is the Evanescence album cover. I don't know what album it's for. And then finally we have the Dementors from Harry Potter. Oh, okay. That was cool.
If I could melt your heart,
Ooh.
we'd never be apart. Give yourself to me.
Just laughing at this production.
Now there's no point in placing the blame, and you should know I suffer the same. If I lose you, my heart will be broken. Love,
Oh, cool.
she needs
I think it was a horse at the end. I'm not sure if those other shapes meant anything, but there was definitely a horse at the end.
love is a bird, she needs to fly. Let all the hurt inside
Oh, it's a dog.
you're frozen when your heart's not open. If I could melt your heart, we'd never be apart.
A lot of this, like, these fingers, I don't know if that means something or if it's just kind of like this artistic expression.
Yourself to me.
Very poetic feeling. It feels like this expression, you know what I mean? Like a lot of these movements don't necessarily mean anything to me, but I think they mean something to her. You know, it's kind of her expression, her poetic, artistic expression. Where is this shot? Sound like a frozen pond or something. I can't stop thinking of Harry Potter. Like, I know this came out first, but it's just... Did this come out first? Yeah, this came out first. But she was probably writing the book long before this came out. So it's probably just a coincidence, but that is what I'm thinking of. You're here for my reaction, and what I'm thinking of is Harry Potter. Pretty cool, like, transitions, lighting. It looks real, I would say, especially, you know, for being in 1998. Like, I do think the special effects, you know, do a good job of holding up.
You only see what your eyes want to see. How can life be what you want it
Feels like she took back her power.
when your heart's not open? If I could melt your heart, we'd never be apart.
A little braid in her hair. I mean, I can't get over the different looks she does and like just the different versions of herself.
If I could melt your heart,
Super slow, drawn out, dramatic.
we'd never
It's interesting to me too how a lot of the shots, like, it'll look like she's just this black puddle. Like right here, this looks like a puddle, you know, of water. It looks like she's disappearing into this, like she's melting. She is melting. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of neat. I don't know what this means, okay? I don't know what any of this means. This is a cry for help for you guys to let me know what it means, okay? But I just want to be honest. Like, I'm not exactly sure the artistic, poetic interpretation of this. And I just want to tell you that honestly. She's like one with the earth. Optical illusions in this one, like, do you see a puddle? Do you see Madonna? Do you see Madonna in the puddle? Okay. That was very artistic and poetic and dramatic and drawn out, slow, beautiful dance movements. I don't know what it meant, so we are going to look up the meaning. You can roast me for not knowing, but like her music videos, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of interpretations you could take away from that. But let's look it up and see what Wiki has to say. This is my favorite thing to do. Again, the transitions, the effects really lived up, like, you know, for being made 20, 30 years ago, like they really held up well. Okay, it was filmed at Cudback Lake in California and features Madonna as an ethereal witch-like melancholy persona who shapeshifts into a flock of birds and a black dog. The music video won a Moon Man for Best Special Effects in a Video at the MTV Video Music Awards. To promote Ray of Light, Madonna performed the song live in several occasions. I don't think I've seen her perform that one live. We're gonna have to change that. It's also performed in her concert tours. The black dress Madonna wears in the video was designed by Jean-Paul Gaultier, who I feel like I've heard his name before. Maybe she worked with him before, but I do think he's a famous fashion designer. I don't know anything about fashion. Madonna stated that she and her team initially thought of filming the video in Iceland, as the idea of the video was to go someplace cold with snow. So admittedly, as I was watching that, I thought it was Iceland. And that's why I was really surprised to learn it was California, of all places. But she decided against the idea. Oh, that's funny. She said, you know what? I'm going to be freezing. I'm going to be miserable. I'll be complaining all day. And I'll be sorry that I ever chose a cold place. So I said, let's do it in the desert. It'll be warm. And that's thinking ahead. That's very smart. That's very self-aware. I mean, it worked. It definitely worked. Like, because it looked like a frozen lake or something, but I was also like, where's the snow? Where's the ice? Like, it doesn't really look fully like the place I think she's going for, but it still worked. The video introduces a sober, contemplative Madonna, revealing a mature mysticism. Yeah, totally. I mean, like, compared to like the other music videos we've seen, that was definitely her most serious music video. There were no smiles. There were no playful, silly moments. Like, it was really just, she was locked in. Her hands are covered with mehndi and an Om symbol on one palm. In the video, she sways her arms toward the sky, pleading to her cold lover, cited in the song. At one point, she falls backwards, hits the ground, and transforms into a flock of large, dark birds. That's such a funny description. I mean, it's just literal description of what happened, but it's just funny to me because it's like, yeah, that's really what she did. Some people interpret the music video as being a dreamlike sequence. Other people take it literally. I mean, I think you can take it any way you freaking want. Honestly, like, you know, some of her music videos feel very outward, feel very out-facing, like the Human Nature music video. You know, you watch that, you know, she has a very clear message that she's trying to get across. But you watch a music video like that, and I don't know, to me, it just felt more like this internal thing, like this internal expression of herself. It felt like there wasn't one specific message you're supposed to get from it. You know, it felt more like this poetic kind of artistic art piece and more about the art form of creating something visual, something interesting. But we're moving on to the next one, and it is for Ray of Light. Very literal. A ray of light. Don't know what I was expecting, but it was not that. Okay. Quicker than a ray of light. Jarring after like the other really poetic, like fantastical music videos to go to this very realistic depiction of everyday life as an interesting juxtaposition. And then we go to her in the green screen. It's just interesting. I'm dizzy. The little baby. I'm just confused. Like, I don't know what these moves are. This is a bit different than the other music videos. I mean, clearly that's intentional. You know, she's not trying to make it like this poetic dance. It's supposed to be kind of this frantic, high-speed thing, but it's just interesting. Coming after the last music video, this is super jarring. And I don't know if I like it. Cool to a degree, like the concept of taking these everyday situations and just speeding them up to hyper speed. Like, it's kind of cool visually too. The best song. It really is like. I think she just like rearranged my brain. Okay. She's got herself a universe gone clear. Okay, respect. That was, yeah, that was a cool transition. I'm sorry to pause again, but I just remembered back when I first heard this song and I was so confused by that lyric. I feel like I just got home because I always thought it was, I feel like a disco ball. Like anytime I had heard this track, I thought that lyric was, I feel like a disco ball. And I think someone pointed out, like, just wait till the music video because that will kind of be ironic. And you're right, there's a disco nightclub, disco ball. So that is kind of ironically funny. Let it out. She's like... Quicker than the ray of looks very natural in this music video. I think this is the most like natural, kind of like laid back, almost hippie look she's ever done. Kind of that bohemian look. Really long hair, not a lot of makeup. You know, obviously there is some, but like it looks very natural. Yeah, she just looks like she's laid back. She's just careless, relaxed. Woo! We're spinning around the world. I feel dizzy. Did she just fall on the ground at the end? She sort of like, yeah, she sort of fell into the crowd and then she like fell on the ground. Okay, respect. That music video has my respect. The first bit of it, I absolutely hated it just because it was so different than the last two music videos that I just felt kind of taken aback. Like, oh, this isn't as poetic. This isn't as like beautiful. And I just didn't like how realistic it felt. Like I wanted it to feel more fantastical like the last couple. But once it got going into it, I really respected the hell out of it. I loved those transitions. I love how it just got faster and faster and crazier throughout. Like every time the production would speed up, that's when the visuals would get even faster and like the lights would get even blurrier. That was really cool. Like the production literally tied in exactly to like every shot and everything. It was really immaculately done in that regard. And then there was that brief part where like it got slow when she was in front of the sunset. That was really pretty. Yeah, felt more poetic, more like dramatic. I live for the poetic, dramatic vibes. So I thought that was really nicely done, and then it went back to that craziness and got even crazier. Yes, I just thought that was very well done. I'm glad that I stuck it out and gave it a chance. You know, I was also thinking, like, is this a representation of how fast life moves? Because, you know, life moves pretty fast.
You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
So I feel like that was kind of a representation of like the world is changing so quickly, like maybe even with like technology and other things that like are changing in the world. Like the world is constantly evolving, right? And it's evolving at a very fast rate. So I don't know, maybe I'm just looking too far into it and it wasn't that deep, but that was kind of the interpretation that I took away from it. And she was just kind of in the middle of all the chaos, kind of going along with it, doing her dances, just kind of getting swept up in it. And then at the end, you know, she just kind of lost herself, like in the vibes, in the crowd, and like in that disco nightclub. So that's what I took away from it. But the next music video is for Drowned World, Substitute of Love, the opening track off the album. So I'm curious about this one. I just needed to breathe after the first couple. Okay. What's up with like this brown, like sepia color, yellowish kind of brown?
You see,
just another day in her life, going to her office job. But she's not.
Without a second thought, it all became a silly game. Some things cannot be bought. I got exactly what I asked for, wanted it so badly. Running, rushing back for more, I suffered fools. So glad.
I forgot this song was about fame.
And now I find I've changed my mind.
you see,
The face of you, my substitute for love, my substitute for love.
She looks so uncomfortable.
Should I wait for you, my substitute for love, my substitute for love?
you see,
Literal nightmare.
Had so many lovers who settled for the thrill, basking in my spotlight. I never felt
gorgeous. Holy smokes. I mean, her eyes are so blue. Her hair is kind of similar to the last music video, but shorter, you know, a little bit straighter. Just really pretty. She just looks very naturally beautiful in this.
The face of you, my substitute.
Seeing this song in a whole new way. I really forgot all about how fame focused it was.
Should I wait for you, my substitute for love, my substitute for love.
Oh God. I was like, oh. Finally someone normal. Like, this is gonna be the part where, you know, she encounters someone normal and just has a nice interaction with someone who doesn't know her. And then the woman took a photo of her. She's just yet another person trying to get a piece of Madonna, trying to take a bite out of her. The flinch was so good.
Faces, far off places, trinkets I can buy. No handsome stranger heady.
Ooh, there's like an effect on their faces.
No Ferris wheel, no heart to steal, no laughter in the dark.
To me, could represent one of two things. One, she's like high on something, because I think she mentioned like no drug that I can buy, insinuating maybe she had a period where she used drugs, so maybe she's on drugs and looking around and their faces all look distorted. Or the second interpretation is these are all famous people and it's kind of representing how fake and how vapid all of it is and how no one around her really cares about her, you know, really knows her. It's all a bunch of like fake, selfish people who are trying to get ahead.
No one night stand, no far off man, no fire that I can spark.
Yeah, they don't even care about her. They just... like, everywhere she goes, no one really cares about her. Her wants, her desires, her consent.
Face of you,
It's making me sad.
substitute for love. Should I wait for you, my substitute for love, my substitute for love.
You see?
Now
Is that her daughter?
find I've changed my mind.
Yeah, this... because
This is my religion.
I hate these things that appear and block the view. But yeah, because that song is about her daughter, right? But I forgot how fame focused it was. Yeah, I mean, the whole music video, she's literally just trying to find a moment of peace, a moment to breathe, trying to find someone to connect to who actually cares about her as a person. And she doesn't until the very end when she comes upon her daughter who actually loves her for her and just wants to give her a hug. And so that's really sweet, but also like made me really sad at the same time. Like even just that first shot when she was in the taxi, like she looked so visibly uncomfortable. She had her sunglasses on. She was clearly just trying to like block out all the noise. She looked so visibly uncomfortable. It just made me feel for her, you know? These are the moments that we don't see of celebrities' lives, you know, unless we're like looking online at all the paparazzi photos or something. But like we often don't see this side of being a celebrity, being famous. And it's something that I just have endless empathy for because I cannot imagine living that life where you do not even have a moment to like breathe. I just really feel for that. And yeah, I've seen a couple other music videos that kind of have a similar theme. Like I think there's a Lady Gaga music video, but obviously it came out after this. But it's the same kind of thing where she's like going through all these crowds and no one cares about her at all. They just want a quick picture and then to leave her. It's so interesting too because like often the people that are trying to get these photos and like get a piece of this celebrity are their biggest fans, but they don't actually care about them as a human being. They just want something from them. So it's just kind of this weird irony where like you're supposed to be my biggest fan. You're supposed to care about me, but you don't care about me. You just want a picture with me, or you just want my autograph. So I don't know. Now I'm thinking deeply about like fame and all that stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed that music video. I thought it was well done. I liked kind of the one-shot feel it had, you know, just going through a day in her life. All right, the next music video is for The Power of Goodbye. We're already getting some water. So, I mean, this album does feel like kind of an underwater vibe, so makes sense. I'm laughing because the song's a bop, but we're just seeing this gorgeous cinematography. It's kind of like the Cliffs of Moher, but I don't think it is.
Your heart is not open, so I must go. The spell has been broken. I loved you so. Freedom comes when you learn to let it go. Creation comes when you learn to say no.
Immediately, I feel like she's kind of adapting this persona again, you know, the darker hair, the makeup, like compared to the last music video where she was basically playing herself. Now she's playing this character of sorts. And it's like this dramatic, you know, kind of cinematic vibe once again.
You were my lesson, I had to learn. I was your fortress, you had to burn. Pain is a warning that something's wrong. I pray.
I'm thinking about how much I love chess and how I need to play it more.
You wanna go higher? There's
It's again like a filter, a distortion.
There's no place left to hide. There's no greater power than the power of.
She's gonna checkmate him. Yup.
Your heart is not open, so I must go. The spell has been broken. I loved you so. You were my lesson.
My OCD is being disturbed by the fact that there's 2 pieces left that she didn't knock over.
I had to learn.
Everything's like this muted bluish greenish tint. I don't know what that's necessarily about. I mean, it does kind of go along with the aesthetic of the album, so I guess maybe that's what it's about.
There's nothing left to lose. There's no more heart to bruise.
Are they gonna make up or are they gonna break up? I mean, the power of goodbye, so they're probably gonna... Oh my god, she looks like J-Lo. For just like a split second, I got an image of J-Lo in my mind, and then it immediately flashed back to her. But like, does anyone else see it, or am I crazy? And there is kind of like this watery effect. Like that ripple. Does anyone else see J-Lo? Maybe I'm insane. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm losing my mind. She's so pretty. It's the power of goodbye, not the power of make out.
Learn to say goodbye.
She's not learning to say goodbye. She's learning to say hello.
I yearn to say goodbye.
Okay, she's kind of having this internal struggle. So dramatic. Everything is so like just ultra drama. Kind of feels like a soap opera.
There's nothing left to try. There's no more places to hide. There's no greater power than the power
Oh, there's a hide button at the top. Just now learned that at the age of 29, that there's a hide button at the top where you can hide those little things. Okay. It was a nice one. It wasn't my favorite so far. I don't know. It was fine. Like, it was very cinematic. It was very dramatic. I don't have that much to say about it. I think it was mainly about kind of that coloring, you know, kind of that filter or coloring that was over top, kind of gave it a different feel, you know, and the ripple effect and everything, like it kind of gave it this underwater vibe. So that was like my main takeaway. And also obviously the power of goodbye, like she was kind of having this internal struggle of like, should I leave him? Should I not? And finally she said goodbye and she left. So yeah, I mean, there was power in that. I think that's an important message. It was pretty straightforward, I guess. I don't have that much to say because it was really straightforward. But the last music video we're gonna watch is for Nothing Really Matters. This is another great track. And we already have like this blue again, you know, the fish. Like there's definitely some underwater nods in these music videos. This better be really pretty. Oh, okay.
When I was very young, nothing really mattered to me but making myself happy. I was the only one. Now that I am grown, everything's changed. I'll never be the same because of you. Nothing really matters. Love is all we need. Everything I give you all comes back to me. Looking at my life, it's
Production's insane.
I live so selfishly.
Her eyebrows are red.
I realize that nobody wins. Something is ending.
You know, something I'm kind of impressed by, slash I just didn't know about her, is like the different styles of dancing she will do in different music videos. Like, you see some artists that like they really have one style of dancing that they do most of the time. She really switches it up a lot, you know. I'm not a professional dancer. Like, I don't really know all the different styles. I don't know names of stuff, nothing like that. So just from what I'm seeing as a mere mortal who doesn't know a lot about dance, but what I'm seeing is like she's doing a lot of different types of dancing. Her dances always kind of align to like the message she's trying to get forth and like the tempo of the song and all of that, obviously. But like she just really mixes it up a lot. Like in the Ray of Light music video, we got that really frantic, chaotic dancing. This is kind of like I don't know how to explain it. Like it's a little bit robotic. It's a little bit boxy. And then we also had the dancing that was slower and like Frozen and the last music video for Power of Goodbye. So I don't know, just something I'm thinking about. I think she was a professional dancer before she was a singer. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's probably why she's so good at dancing.
And something begins.
It looks like she's ready to fight.
Nothing really matters.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Love is all we need. We need.
The camera's like...
Everything
It all comes back to
nothing. Love is all we need.
feels kind of futuristic, like, I don't know, it's giving me a little bit of like the bedtime story energy. It feels like it could be an homage to other artists. Like, a lot of arm work with the dancing.
Takes the past away like the future. Nothing makes the darkness go like the light.
She looks like a statue.
You're sheltered from the storm. Give me comfort.
got that from 80s Madonna too. She's doing something. What's happening? Expressions on her face in this music video. One of her more expressive music videos. It's funny because the camera will like stay in the same spot, just completely still for majority of the music video, but then every now and then it will like move a little bit to one side or the other, and it's just kind of random. You know, I'm sure there's like a meaning or an intention behind it, but it just feels very random. She's fun in this one. She has a lot of personality. Like, I want to hang out with this Madonna. She just seems like a fun time. LOL. Girl, okay. Way to like give me two really straightforward music videos in a row, which were Drowned World and then The Power of Goodbye, and then give me one that completely confused the hell out of me and I have no idea what was going on. So we are gonna take a little trip over to the wiki because I literally have no idea what I just watched. But it was my least favorite so far by a landslide, but let's see what the artistic interpretation is. So the kimono from the video was also designed by Jean-Paul Gaultier. It was ranked as one of her most fashionable music videos. That's, you know, probably true objectively, like probably in the fashion world that did have a lot of power. I just personally didn't like any of the looks from that music video. Like mainly the makeup. I mainly didn't really care for a lot of the makeup. The fashion itself, I guess, was neither here nor there, but like the makeup, I didn't really vibe with. I'm over here on ChatGPT because Wikipedia didn't really seem to have a clear answer, and neither does Google when I search for it. So we're over on ChatGPT. Madonna's Nothing Really Matters music video is very symbolic, and it helps to know a bit about where she was in her life when she made it. The video is about letting go of ego, fame, and material things and realizing that love, connection, and inner peace are what truly matter. Okay. I'm not sure how you got that from that, but around this time, Madonna was deeply interested in Eastern philosophy and Kabbalah. Okay, I forgot about that, admittedly. I mean, I was thinking about it a little bit during the Frozen music video, but I did forget that so much of this album was influenced by her religion. So I think that is important context to remember. So I'm not going to read every single thing that ChatGPT told me because it was a lot of information, but I'm just gonna like kind of go over the highlights. So basically it seems like it's about her journey of becoming a mother and how parenthood changed her priorities. Fame and success felt less important compared to love and responsibility, which ties back into the Drowned World music video where at the end, you know, she doesn't want any of that fame and success. She just wants to be with her daughter, be there for her daughter, to hug her, to love her. So it feels like those are kind of sister videos. I mean, I'm sure other music videos tie into her daughter as well, but I feel like those are really complementary toward each other in terms of theme. But this points out, you know, in part of the music video, she appears restrained. Like that was the part that I said she looked like a statue, which kind of represents like surrendering control, letting go of the need to like dominate or impress. And then at the end, you know, she's kind of like embracing that much less regimented dance and all of that. So that kind of helps me to understand that. And the thing that was tripping me up the most is like the other characters in the music video. I had no idea what they were supposed to represent, why they were there, like what that was all meaning together. According to ChatGPT, you know, which can always be wrong, the people are styled after traditional Japanese ceremonial / geisha aesthetics. It represents discipline, ritual, control, and tradition. The slow movements and emotionless expressions are meant to feel meditative, almost like a spiritual ceremony. So they're there to create a feeling of ritual and rebirth. And a lot of people have actually criticized this video apparently because the song isn't about Japan, like Madonna isn't Japanese, the imagery isn't really explained. So some people say it's cultural appropriation, borrowing others' cultural symbols because they look cool or feel spiritual without real context. But, ChatGPT also points out she borrows from religions, cultures, and styles all the time. She's obviously not trying to make it negative in any way. She's trying to use it as symbols for bigger ideas like rebirth, surrender, transformation. I truly don't think she's trying to use it in, a culturally appropriated way. But also, I'm not in her head, and I'm also not a member of the cultures that are being represented, so I feel like I can't really speak to that. So yeah, I don't know what to think of that one. I don't know. It just felt kind of random. Like certain things about it felt very random. I can appreciate the symbolic nature of it. I can appreciate that it means something to her. At the end of the day, that's what really matters. Obviously gonna, read what you guys have to say about that music video. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Do you agree with the criticism and the controversy? Do you not? I'm here to learn. But I like these music videos. I did overall. I think there was like 6 total that we just watched. I'm looking back and I'm like, why was You'll See one of my favorite music videos of the whole batch? I don't know. It was just really pretty. If I'm being honest, if I'm being real, I feel like my favorite music videos of this bunch were probably not the most popular to have as favorites, such as You'll See, Drowned World, Ray of Light. Yeah, I would say those were my favorites. I feel like the more popular ones are probably like Frozen, Nothing Really Matters. Probably those are the more popular ones, but I'm not really sure. I think I do tend to prefer when the music video has a very clear meaning. I can respect and appreciate that, she does a lot of music videos that are left open to interpretation, that are very vague. I don't think there's inherently anything wrong with that. I think sometimes it's more interesting to watch music videos like that. But my brain best connects with music videos where there's a very clear storyline. That's why I connected with a music video like Drowned World more than I connected with something like Frozen. Even though Frozen had better imagery and was more visually beautiful, I think I just preferred the storytelling of like something like Drowned World. So I hope that makes sense. You'll See just felt like poetic art. I just loved it. It was just beautifully poetic and beautifully artistic. The Power of Goodbye was very literal, which ironically that's why I didn't like it as much, was because it was so literal. But like typically I connect more with literal music videos, so I don't really know how to explain myself. I can't say that I make any sense. Ray of Light was a memorable one too, just that trippy vibe, like literally feeling dizzy, feeling like, my brain's gonna pop out of my head after watching that. But the most artistic music videos of the bunch, I do think, were Frozen and Nothing Really Matters. I could see those being the ones that critics kind of flock to because there's a bit more artistic, they have a bit more depth and a bit more meaning. Not that the other ones didn't, but they were a bit more artistic, a lot of layers there. So yeah, I can see why those would be very impactful to people as well. But just wanted to give you my honest favorites. That's what I always do. But I like these music videos. Probably like the Bedtime Stories music videos a little bit more, just overall, like as an entire grouping. But yeah, these were a good time as well. Very beautiful, very cinematic, lots of interesting colors and personas. Like she really has so many freaking personas, and it's like, it's crazy to think this is one person's music videos, this is one artist's music videos. So thank you guys so much for joining me once again, okay, for this little journey here. There's no tour for the album Bedtime Stories, so I don't even know what's next on the Madonna radar, but the Drowned World tour might be the next video. But it was really fun, especially to like kind of revisit this album a little bit because it's been a minute since I've listened to it, and it is really solid stuff. I really enjoyed, revisiting. The production is just so freaking beautiful. So I'm excited for the tour for this album, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.